everyone, this is Gabriela Batres Salinas, and I'm going to be your host for this podcast called Exploring New Places. This podcast will talk about all the places that one wonders and thinks about going. We will explore new destinations, local, out of state, and foreign, of where to travel to. Many of the destinations will be about the places that are often overlooked or not considered because people go to the same usual places that are most popular. Here, we will explore popular and unpopular destinations. You might ask, what exactly are you going to talk about? And to answer that question, I will be talking about the destinations, food, culture, activities, restaurants, and people. This podcast is perfect for people that are curious and want to learn a little bit of everything. Therefore, I will try to explain everything that one may be interested when visiting the destinations. Let's get right into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome again to Exploring New Places podcast. It's been a while since our last episode, and I'm so very happy to be here again with a brand new episode. And today we're launching season 2 of Exploring New Places podcast. And I'm so happy about that. So much has happened since the last time we published an episode. And I want to explain to you the new dynamic that will be happening here on the podcast. But first, let me backtrack a little bit so that you can understand where I'm coming from. So as you all know, or if you don't, because you are new here, I started this podcast when I was a senior in college. Since 2021, the last time that I posted and created this podcast, I have graduated from Cal State University, Northridge, my alma mater, and I'm so happy and proud of myself for having graduated. It was so challenging as colleges, and the process mentally after graduation is something that I did not expect, and it's different for everybody. But for me, I felt a little lost because I entered college as soon as I graduated from high school. Like literally, I graduated on a Thursday, and by the following Monday, I was already in summer classes. Therefore, when I graduated college, I did not know what to do, which led me to wanting to take some time off from everything. I feel like I had gone through a really long process, which had finally culminated, and I needed some time and space to decompress. Looking back, I don't regret how I did things because I needed the time off. And, at the time it was a lot of work and a lot of new things to adapt to at a very fast pace coming right after high school. And in 2022, I found the time to take my time off from everything. And I'm so glad I did because I needed it. And I still feel that I've earned to take my time off. Anyway, since the last time I published, I've had some time to think about a lot of things. And one of the things that I want to mix up a little bit is this podcast. I want to try new things, not just travel on this podcast. And this is my public creative outlet that allows me to do so. I'm taking this new year to start anew with a lot of things. And since I'm in a mood to try a lot of new things, just like the name of this podcast, Exploring New Places podcast, I will do the same. So here are the things that I will have changed or that will have a little bit of a different dynamic. So here are the news. The first one is that I will be experimenting with the episodes. They will be a little bit different. With this, I mean that the format will be the same as a podcast format, but I will not just be talking about travel. I will talk about education, careers that sound interesting to me, mental health, culture, destinations, restaurants, and stories from different individuals in different industries, not just travel. I will do my best to keep the travel theme because that's the main reason why I created this podcast, to explore new places. Exploring new places will be that. literally exploring new places, in which travel will be among the various topics of discussion. I'm a person that likes to learn a little bit of everything, and I look forward to have you tuning in and learning with me and commenting and seeing your recommendations and your perspectives on the topics discussed here. It's one of the things that makes podcasting fun and interesting. Now, my second point, my second piece of news is that I will sometimes do episodes in Spanish. Given that I know the language, I do not want to limit myself on who I speak with because this is a mainly English language podcast. Don't get me wrong, most of the episodes will be in English. However, do expect some episodes in Spanish. And if you know the language, hey, it's a great way to practice your Spanish. And I'm so excited about this modification because I love Spanish and I love English too. But it's more versatile. So I love it. Now, my third piece of news is that, this is so exciting and I'm so excited for this, and I'm so excited to share it with you. But my third piece of news to share with you is that Exploring New Places podcast is now also available on 10 more platforms. Before, we would be mainly on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout, and Podpage. Now you can find Exploring New Places podcast available on Amazon Music, Castro, Audible, Stitcher, Good Pods, Radio Public, Podfriend, Overcast, Pocket Cast, and Pandora. This makes me so happy because now you can listen from any of your favorite podcasting apps. And yeah, this is a really big step moving forward. And I'm so excited for this. And I'm so excited for you to be tuning in from your favorite platform. So yes, this is so exciting. My second to last point is just a reminder that new episodes come out every other week on Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific time. This may be subject to change at times. If I really want to publish an episode and not wait until the regular posting schedule, then I will do so. Also, you have to keep in mind that there are certain exhibitions or events that have a relatively short time frame. So I will keep that in mind to post when it's available. Of course, I won't go crazy, okay, and wait weeks to publish. Okay, I will be mindful. This leads me to my final point of today's episode. I know, right? It went by so fast, but my final announcement is for you to remember to follow us on Instagram at Exploring New Places _podcast and Facebook at Exploring New Places podcast. Your support means a lot and it helps me keep producing this podcast. I will ask you to please share this podcast with your family and friends and tell them to follow us too. Don't be shy, please. This is a kind and safe space to share your opinion in a civil and respectful manner. Any comments or suggestions are welcome at any time. You can email this podcast at exploringnewplacespodcast@gmail.com. And by the way, you can also become a guest on this podcast and talk about your experience at a certain place or restaurant or destination that perhaps needs to have more of a spotlight to people. Reach out at the email mentioned before, exploringnewplacespodcast@gmail.com, or Google search Exploring New Places Podcast. And in our website, you can find all the different ways to contact us as well as on our social media channels. I know it's been a lot of news for one episode and we're coming to an end. But before that, I want to summarize for you all the news in one sentence. So the first one is that I'll be mixing things up with this podcast with other topics, not just travel. Season 2 is airing right now, today, to start anew and refreshed. We are available on 10 more platforms, including Amazon Music, Our schedule has not changed, so it's still bi-weekly on Friday at 7 a.m. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Share this podcast with family and friends to help me produce this amazing podcast and tell them to follow us as well. Reach out at exploringnewplacespodcast@gmail.com. And remember that you can become a guest on this podcast so other people know and can support a business or destination or restaurant of your choice. With this, I say goodbye for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you next Friday with a brand new episode of Exploring New Places podcast.